Hey there. Today I wanted to pop in and have a conversation with you today about why traditional diets don't work for the long term. I'm Lisa Goldberg and I'm a nutritionist and a weight loss coach, and my superpower is helping people change their relationship with food so they could finally stop emotional eating, yo-yo dieting, and change those habits and behaviors that actually get them to be overweight in the first place. So, getting right to the point, there are so many different diets out there. And the truth is, if traditional diets worked, you would have lost weight and not gained it back again. And so, if you're listening to this, how many diets have you been on in your life? 1, 5, 10, 15? Too many that you don't know how to count? And so here's the problem with traditional diets. They work until they don't. And what do I mean by that? I mean that they work as long as you follow them, right? As long as you follow the plan. And what I know about people who struggle with food, weight, and dieting is that they follow the diet and they have what I call the dieter's mentality, and they feel like they need to do it perfectly. So when you go on a diet, right, because a diet is something that you go on only to eventually go off of, right? And so when you go on a diet, you feel like you have to do it perfectly. And if for some reason you eat something that wasn't on the plan or you wish you didn't, you throw away the whole day, right? Because the dieter's mindset says, well, I wasn't perfect, I messed it up, I may as well keep on going. So that's one problem with traditional diets, right? It makes you feel like you have to follow something perfectly. And if you're not following it perfectly, you're doing something wrong. Usually, a traditional diet has you cutting out something that you love, right? Whether it's carbs, sweets, alcohol, all of the above, dairy, right? So for some people, right, those aren't the best foods for your body, but for the majority of people, what I found after doing this work that I do for over 20 years is that people struggle with their weight because they eat too much food and they eat when they're not hungry. And so once you get in touch with that, right, and get reacquainted with what real hunger feels like, right, the physical hunger, the stuff that your belly is asking for fuel, versus what I call head hunger. I think I feel like eating, or you get triggered emotionally, right? Even if that emotion is boredom or procrastination, right? If that's what the feeling is, and then you use food as a substitute, right? To busy yourself as an activity or just for something to do. So that's one of the reasons. Those are the things that aren't addressed when you go on a diet, right? You're only changing the food that you eat, but you're not changing the habits. You're not changing the behaviors. You're not changing the triggers, and you're not getting in touch with why you're eating when eating has nothing to do with being hungry. You're losing sight of, is this a way that I could eat for the rest of my life? I have a client that I'm working with, and often she'll come to me and she'll say, my friend's doing keto or my friend's doing paleo and she's down, all these pounds. And I'm honest, I'll say to her, well, if you could do that for the rest of your life, then I'm fine with it, right? Because I don't subscribe to a particular diet of cutting out foods that you love. Actually, I teach my clients how to lose weight while they're still drinking wine, while they're still eating dessert, while they're still having bread. The most shocking things I hear my clients say is, you mean I can eat a sandwich? And so yes, you could still lose weight and eat a sandwich. You could still lose weight and eat some ice cream and drink some wine, right? But what does that look like in your day, in your week, in your life for the long term? Because the truth is, if you want to lose weight and keep it off, you need to continue doing however you lost the weight. So let's just say, you went on the keto diet and you lost 20, 30, 40 pounds. To maintain that weight is really how you have to keep eating for the rest of your life. So most of my clients care about drinking wine and having some dessert and having some bread once in a while and still be able to lose weight and maintain the weight that they've lost. So if you go on a traditional diet, you want to make sure that it's something you could do for the rest of your life, that you don't feel like you're failing if you're not doing it perfectly, and that you're changing the habits and behaviors in your relationship with food, because that is the only way you will lose weight and keep it off for good. And traditional diets never address that. Traditional diets never address what goes on up here, right? Because your actions follow your thoughts. And so if you want to know how to change your mindset, how to change the thoughts, how to get clear on the thoughts that tell you, I'm just going to eat this anyway. I don't care, I'll worry about it tomorrow, right? Because those thoughts are still there when you go on a traditional diet. And if you don't learn how to change your dieter's mindset, right? Those self-sabotaging thoughts, the weight's going to find its way back. So if you found this helpful, share with me below. I'd love to hear about it. All right? Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you soon.